Remember breaking up with your boyfriend or girlfriend back in high school or college or even in your 20s? It was the worst. But now that we're older and wiser, can't be that bad, can it? Alexandra Sukhoi is here with the good, the bad, and the ugly truth about breakups, even when you're in your third act, and how you can break through to become a whole person once again. Alexandra is the author of Diary of the Dumped. So welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me here.
So you are all kinds of things, an author, a career coach, a college educator with an MBA. Now, it sounds like if anybody could handle a breakup, you could handle a breakup. But your diary, I mean, really is kind of your diary. It shows it never really gets any easier, does it?
No, it doesn't. And one of the things about the heart is that the heart really doesn't care what your resume looks like. And so the heart is still going to feel what's going to feel, and the deeper you feel and the more you love, the more you set yourself up for all kinds of goodness and pain.
And you took sort of an MBA approach to this whole thing too, didn't you? So whether we have a grid from one of the pages in the book, so kind of explain that a little bit.
Absolutely. So
we'll come up here soon. There we go.
So the grid, the absolute value of love is this whole gradient of that. The less you feel for someone, the less pain they can make you feel. So in other words, if you just like somebody, maybe they'll irritate you, maybe they'll frustrate you just a little bit. But if you feel that deep, 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 deep love, and that breaks, you're down to torture level. You are down at the bottom of the barrel. So the more you allow yourself to feel, the more it's going to hurt at the end if it doesn't work out.
Okay, well, you reveal a lot about yourself in the book. I mean, it's called a diary, so I guess that would be true. And you add these MBA lessons. When we talked about the grid, why did you decide to add that kind of, I guess, business approach to it?
Yeah, absolutely. So one of the things is my whole life I've spent working in the business world. I spent 20 years climbing the corporate ladder. I have an MBA. I teach at the Monte Ahuja School of Business. And so for me, everything in life is through the business lens. And ultimately, relationships are the ultimate negotiation.
I guess that might be true. And you told me, too, earlier that you thought there's a real correlation between love and money, sex and money, you know, romance and money. So that makes sense. So you've got some lessons in the book that derive from these MBA
Yes.
points that you work with. So the first one is number 3. And this is a page, I guess, from the book. So what is number 3?
So this really talks about how when you have a relationship that isn't necessarily a healthy relationship, your emotional bank account keeps getting depleted and depleted and depleted. But once you're done with an unhealthy relationship, you can replenish that emotional bank account and you can go out there and you can feel fulfilled again. Because ultimately that's what it is, whether it's your financial account, your professional account, or your emotional account. It's up to you. And a good relationship will replenish that. Sometimes single replenishes that. But if you're in a bad relationship, it's just going to further deplete you. But once you're single, boom.
And you got all this other energy to put into something good for a
Exactly,
change,
and
huh?
for yourself. You get to be selfish. You get to be selfish.
All right, and then we have, I guess, coming up number 4.
Yes, and then you can really enjoy more time with your friends, and you can enjoy the time with people that you wouldn't necessarily spend a lot of time with, because one of the things that happens, whether we are in high school or whether we're older, is when people get boyfriends or girlfriends, suddenly they shut the rest of the world out because you're just so consumed by this newness and this excitement. And suddenly, you know what, you get to hang and spend your time with the people you want to most. And so you get to reestablish some friendships and relationships that you may have put on the side during whatever you may have been going through.
That's good advice. I mean, diary is very funny, even though it's a very sad time. Did you really come to a breakthrough in 30 days, like it says?
Yeah, excellent question. I would say it was a 3-parter. The diary was the beginning. My very good friend, she's a relationship coach and a life coach, Anita Myers. She's the one who told me to write this because I called her the day of the breakup in tears. And she said, go keep a diary. And I said, are you kidding? She goes, no, go keep a diary. So I did that. And getting it all down on paper during those first 30 days was really critical. The second part was working with my writing coach for several years. And she said, I'll work with you, but you got to cut out the nonsense, get to the truth. And she really, really got me to feel the pain. And then the third part was I got to do a little traveling and some soul searching and really figure out who I was again after a lot of loss beyond that initial relationship breakup.
Sounds like a great book. So Alexandra's book is titled Diary of the Dumped, and it has a secondary title that's just as important, 30 Days from Breakup to Breakthrough. When you read it, you share her pain and her ultimate peace. To order the book and to learn more about Alexandra, look for the information that's coming up next.
For more information, call Creative Cadence at 216-410-3825 or click to www.creativecadence.com.